This is Quad. Quad is the knowledge infrastructure for AI agents. The problem is that every company has a huge gap between what it knows internally and what agents can actually access, verify, and act on. A website says one thing, internal docs say another. A decision gets made in a meeting, but never makes it into Notion. Support gives one answer, sales gives another. And then AI search engines scrape the stale version and repeat it with confidence. That is a core failure. Agents are being asked to act on company knowledge, but the knowledge layer underneath them is fragmented, stale, and unverifiable. Quad is the infrastructure layer that fixes that. Quad connects to the places company truth actually lives. Websites, docs, meetings, support knowledge, CRM, and internal tools. Then it turns that fragmented knowledge into something agents can use. Source memory, continuous audits, verifiable receipts, approval-gated actions, and a ledger-backed memory layer. The goal is not to build another chatbot. The goal is to build the trust layer that lets AI agents operate on company knowledge safely. This is what we mean by knowledge infrastructure. When we open a finding, Quad shows the claim, the conflicting evidence, and the exact source behind it. An agent should not just say, I think this is wrong. It should be able to prove why. So every answer Quad produces is grounded in source evidence. Every proposed fix is checked against that evidence. Every sensitive action is routed through approval. There's also an approval layer. Agents should be able to do work, but companies still need control over sensitive actions. Quad is approval first. A human can review the evidence, inspect the proposed update, approve it, reject it, or send it back. This lets agents move fast without becoming end-to-end, so failures degrade safely instead of breaking the whole run. Trust is not just about the final answer. Trust means knowing what the agent saw, how it reasoned, what evidence it used, what failed, and why the final action was allowed. Here on the right side is the browser-based session. Once the fix is approved, Quad can execute it. Here, Quad uses browser-based to operate a real browser and apply the approved change. So Quad is not just retrieval. It is not just generation. It is a full knowledge-to-action pipeline. Evidence, verification, approval, execution, and receipt. Quad can also orchestrate agents through Agentverse and can be called through ASI1. So other agents can use Quad as a knowledge layer beneath their own workflows. After execution, Quad leaves a receipt. The receipt records what evidence was retrieved, what was drafted, what was verified, what was approved, what action was taken, and what happened. That receipt becomes part of the company's knowledge ledger. Quad also captures knowledge that never existed in documents. A lot of company truth happens in meetings. Someone changes a deadline, commits to a customer, approves an exception, or makes a budget decision. If that knowledge never gets written down, future agents cannot use that. Quad joins meeting live. Quad joins meetings live, research layer behind turns conversation into structured source. We wrote a Quad chain, obligation, verified, context, compression for multi-agent. So Quad is not just syncing documents; it is built. The paper formalizes the problem memory while building Quad. Agents do not just need more context; they need context that can be compressed, routed, audited, repaired, and rejected when required evidence is missing. This is what Quad chain does. Quad chain is the verifiable memory protocol underneath Quad. It turns compressed context into a proof-carrying memory packet. That packet records the original source, the compressed output, the evidence, obligations, the omitted spans, the routing policy, and whether the receiving agent should accept or reject the handoff. In the paper, each Quad chain packet has 4 commitments. First, a source commitment, where the memory came from and the input hash. Second, a compression commitment, the output hash, token delta, compression ratio, and omission ranges. Third, an obligation commitment, what evidence and answer concepts had to survive compression. Fourth, an optional anchor commitment, Merkle root, handoff hash, verifiable.
This is also a Quad chain fits the
Quad chain is
token
not just
company
summarization.
track.
It is compressed memory.
4-agent workflow
tells
benchmark.
downstream agents
Raw context was 9,000 tokens
prepared, and whether the
Quad
handoff
chain
was
routed
down 2,283 tokens. That is a 74.63% token reduction while preserving all 41 required evidence items and all 38 answer concepts. So this is not just cheaper context; it is accountable context. Quad chain makes agent memory token efficient, ledger backed, selectively repairable, and safe to reject when evidence is missing. We also test integrity failures. If the Merkle root is tampered with, the handoff is rejected.
Bringing it back to Quad, the product and the paper are the same system at
stale
different
layers.
layers.
If the wrong agent receives
Quad is
the
a knowledge
context, it is
infrastructure.
rejected. That is a core
Connect,
research.
audit,
Compressed memory
remember,
that should not be
verify,
blindly trusted
approve,
and
and
be
execute.
verifiable. Quad chain is the verifiable memory layer. Obligations, receipts, routing, compression, ledger anchoring, and handoff integrity. Together, they let AI agents operate on company knowledge without guessing.
Websites, meetings, support systems, CRM, and internal tools. Second, the reasoning layer. Audits, drafts, verification,
Evaluations, and synthesis. Third, the action layer. Browser-based execution, agent-verse orchestration, and ASI1 access. Quad chain receipts, commitments, ledger entries, and verifiable memory packets. This is why we call Quad knowledge infrastructure for AI agents. It is a layer that makes agent work grounded, observable, and safe to act on. The vision is that every company will have agents acting across websites, docs, support sales, meetings, and internal tools. But these agents need a trustworthy knowledge layer underneath them. They need evidence. They need memory. They need approvals. They need observability. They need a ledger. They need compressed context that can be verified instead of blindly trusted. That is Quad, knowledge infrastructure for AI agents. Thank you.